Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. It's Vintage Friday, so today we are looking at the Mad Magazine game. This is from Parker Brothers. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 to adult. And this came out in... when did this come out? I always forget these things. Look it up and then I forget. And we'll look at it when it gets inside. But this is item number 124 in the Parker Brothers catalog of games. And of course, if you don't remember Mad Magazine, well, you're not really missing a lot. It's something that would satirize a lot of movies and stuff that was out. It was definitely aimed at like younger readers, like 13, 14, and maybe some semi-literate adults in college. But it had its moments where it was pretty funny. And that's Alfred E. Newman, the company mascot sort of thing. So, let's look at the back of the box. I found this at a Salvation Army. I haven't seen a copy in ages. It's just not one that you see much of. And it's got a lot of weird rules to it, but it's like a crazy version of Monopoly. So, the rules could change throughout the entire thing, if I'm remembering it correctly. So let's see what we got here. This one should be complete. Bought this a few years ago, and I haven't looked at it since. But here's our game board. As you can see, it's kind of crazy. You start back here, and then you go around, up and around, and you can end up here, and then have to go back over here. It gets a little wacky. You place your cards there. So we've got a little stack of cards that would go there. Then you also have some money, like these type of games always do. You have your guys that move around. The yellow one's broken, but these are just like the Clue ones from the same time period. You've got your green, blue, red, and yellow, and they're that same type of plastic molding that you find in the old Clue game. And you had 2d6. Now your basic instructions are on the box insert, so you want to make sure this is in the box. This is from 1979. So it is fairly old, and finding parts for it could be difficult, especially replacing the cards and money. Obviously, the dice 2d6 will work, and you can find replacements for this out of a lot of major brands at the time, so that's not too bad. Let me zoom the camera in and we'll take a closer look at the cards. Alright, so you can get a better look at the pieces here. These are pretty standard pieces for the time period, and you can definitely find these still floating around. I think they even make some very, very similar to that, if not the exact same thing. So they were a little weighted at the bottom because it was, plastics tapered near the top. And this one's busted, so the top piece is in the box. I just haven't glued it. I've got a couple of these things laying around. So let's take a look at the money real quick. And the dice are just standard, like casino type dice. They're plastic, opaque D6s, very generic dice for the time, and they're heavy enough. They roll fairly decently. So here's our money. This is a $500. There's actually a fairly large stack of these. I don't know if all the money is here, but as long as you have most of them, you can reproduce them as needed, I imagine. Then you've got a big stack of yellow 1000s. And they basically have the same image, just different wording at the very bottom there. Then you've got a much smaller stack of 5000s. And then $1,329,063. There's one of these that I know of in there. So you'll definitely want to check for the green money as well. So let's get that out of the way. Then we've got, I'll put a more interesting part of the board on there. Then we've got our cards. They have Alfred E. Newman on the back. And here's the ones I have. We have this card can only be played on Friday. You are a rock. Act like one. If you're good, if you're good, you lose $1,000. If you're not so good, you win a rock. Stand up and boo the person on your left. Also lose $1,000. Then we've got change money with the person on your right. If you are a girl person, lose $1,000. If you are good looking, stand up and imitate your favorite animal and lose $2,000. If you can jump up and stay airborne for 37 seconds, you can lose $5,000. If not, jump up and lose $500. Change chairs with anyone. Take the next card, don't peek, and give it to anyone else. Put $1,000 under Tough Luck. Tough Luck's like the jail feature. So it's a send-up of Monopoly. Flip this card up in the air. If it lands this side face up, you lose $1,000. If not, go to Tough Luck. Go to any double arrow space. There's only 3 of on the board. There's over by the start, near the end, and then these 2. Put this card on top of your head and walk around the table backwards. If it doesn't fall off before you sit down, you lose $1,000. Go to any double arrow space. If you are a girl person, win $500. Go ahead the total of 1 die. Change money with anyone. If you are a boy person, win $500. Change money with the person on your left. If one or more of the following letters are in your name, you win the amount indicated. And the letters are LOSE. L is worth 1,000, O is worth 500, S is worth 1,000, and E is worth 500. If one or more of the following letters is in your name, you lose the amount indicated, and the word is goat. G is 500, O is 1,000, A is 1,000, T is 2,000. However, being a goat, you win 500 anyway. Plan ahead and move to any space on the board. If you like this game, cross your legs, sit on your hands, cackle like a chicken, and lose 1 egg, also $500. And lastly, if you are a boy person, lose $1,000. And that's just the cards. Each of these have little things that, like goofy things on them. Like go to Toledo, Ohio. If the bus has already left, stay where you are and pay $500 for train tickets. Here you can, one of your $2,000 is counterfeit, return it to the bank. They even have the spy versus spy guys on here, stuff like that. So it's a goofy little game. There's not a lot to it. You get the game board, you get 2 dice, you get 4 playing pieces, the play money, and the cards. It's not specific on how many cards there are, so you'll have to just kind of wing it on that part. I think I have all of them, so you'll have to use that as a little bit of a gauge, unfortunately. And if you can find more information online, awesome, but I haven't been able to. Not a lot of people care about some of these older board games as much as those of us who enjoyed them. And the game of losing money is always fun, except when it's real life. But that'll do it for this episode. That was the Mad Magazine board game. I like this game. It's a nice send-up of Monopoly, which I hate with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. So it's kind of fun to play something that uses a similar game mechanic that won't make you lose friends and hate everyone around you. So that's what's inside the box. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and we hope to see you on the next episode.